Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture is My Life. Now, this episode, I'm going to discuss a topic requested of me by an individual here, literally in New York City. Because on the Acupuncture is My Life app, I've gotten so many individuals from New York that feel just because the Acupuncture is My Life clinic is located in New York City doesn't mean I can't entertain questions or topics of discussion from individuals from New York City. So fine. You know, I'm not just doing it because everyone's upset, but I mean, you're talking about the planet here. You know, I have to give, some space or opportunity to many individuals from other corners of the planet. Because individuals that live here in New York City, you have access to Acupuncture is My Life. So easy. It's a subway ride, a bus ride, a car ride, a walk, bike ride. I mean, you could just come in. You have ready access to Acupuncture is My Life, where many individuals around the world do not. They can't just jump on the subway or in their car or just take a quick walk to an Acupuncture is My Life clinic here in New York City. But I'm going to entertain this one topic from a young lady here in New York City who'd asked, why is it so much harder to sleep as you age? And one, it's not necessarily harder, and if you're struggling to go to sleep, see an acupuncturist. You know I'm going to say that. See an acupuncturist. If you have any type of sleep disorder or concerns about sleeping, see an acupuncturist. It's the best thing to do to start with, along with your annual exams with the physician, blood work, everything. See an acupuncturist for regular wellness visits. Now, when it comes to the topic of struggling to go to sleep as you age, there are several reasons for it. And before even jumping into explaining why I feel individuals are struggling to fall asleep as they age, I'll just, some of the more basic points that I've discussed, I've had with, in discussion rather, virtual discussion with some of the acupuncturists in my global network. One of them is worry. And it's back to mental and emotional disorders. Worry. Whether you're worrying about your health or any type of virus going around or war or inflation or some type of geopolitical event, that can affect individuals, especially individuals over the age of 50, because individuals over the age of 50 perceive the world much different than individuals that are in their 20s. So it gets harder, it can get harder just simply from what you've been worrying about all day or all week, all month, all year. And that particular event in your life just doesn't seem to be waning. It's annoying you, and it's obstructing your ability to sleep. And you're faced with insomnia. And as an acupuncturist, I've observed this quite often in older adults, which would include waking up early, taking longer to fall asleep, and waking up several times during the night. And it's tough. And if you find yourself worrying a lot, you should definitely, like I said, get into an acupuncturist. See an acupuncturist. Another reason why many of us struggle to sleep at night is we age. We don't realize it's because we're putting on weight, too much weight. And many individuals, it stays about balance when it comes to acupuncture. As you age, your metabolisms are slowing down. Your metabolism is slowing down. So, and that's inevitable. So you have to think about how much food you're consuming. Are you getting in enough exercise? How active are you being throughout the day? Because if you're not exercising, you're not decreasing the amount of food you're putting in. Just get rid of so much meat. Maybe at most once a day. Increase vegetable consumption, fruits, seeds, nuts, and of course exercise. Many individuals are unaware that this extra weight is tied to various sleep disorders, one being sleep apnea. Yeah, and I always said, and I have many individuals from 5 different continents asking me to talk about sleep apnea, and I'm going to do that one day. But extra weight, believe it or not, can be associated with sleep apnea. It can be. So losing that weight can lead to better sleep. Bam, get in to see an acupuncturist. They're great with dealing with weight loss. Acupuncture is great for that. And having problems with getting to sleep can also make it harder for you to lose weight. That vicious cycle. See an acupuncturist. Many of you, I'm glad, are understanding why I'm saying that more and more. But let's stick with sleep apnea for a second, which is a condition that tends to occur when a person's upper airways becomes blocked during sleep and it stops airflow. And there are many men out there over the age of 40 that are at an increased risk of this sleep disrupting syndrome, mainly because they're overweight. And guess what? Not to scare you, but cardiac arrest and sudden death are 2 possible outcomes if sleep apnea goes untreated. You better get in to an acupuncturist. You need to get yourself in to see an acupuncturist right away. Another, of course, is menopause. Hot flashes, mood swings. Ladies, you know what I'm discussing. Throw insomnia in there. These are all, and more. It's a long list of menopause-related problems that exist. And upwards of about 65% of menopausal as well as postmenopausal women say that they have less satisfaction when it comes to sleep. And this shift in women's sleep is largely due to the shifting ratio of hormones. And guess what? Let's go back to yin and yang, guys. That balance has been disrupted. Get yourself in to see an acupuncturist. And for guys, prostate issues. As men age, a man's prostate tends to become enlarged. And one of the more basic common symptoms of this is benign prostatic hyperplasia. What is that? An increased frequency of urination overnight. Now, yes, of course, limiting how much you drink, which should be water, room temperature water, before bedtime. Try and cease all drinking 2 hours before bedtime. It's going to cause you to wake up in the middle of the night, run, urinate, go back to sleep. That's going to disturb your sleep. So you want to be careful with that. You want to avoid any type of known diuretic, caffeinated drinks, chocolate. You see, sitting with an acupuncturist, you'd be made aware of all of this. This is what's so awesome about acupuncture. Because as a state licensed board certified doctor of acupuncture, I fully understand their health as well. I understand the wealth is not under the doghouse in the backyard. It's not in a shoebox in the closet. It's not under your mattress. I understand that the wealth is not in your wallet, nor is it in your purse or your pocket. And the wealth is definitely not in the bank. It's not in the safe. It's not in the cryptocurrency account. It's not in an app on your phone. Some of you who are new to this podcast are asking right now, then where is it then? Some of you that are new to this podcast, yes, are literally asking, then where is it? The wealth. No, as a matter of fact, my regular listeners, where's the wealth? 3 seconds. Go for it. Bam. You're right. The wealth is in you. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Now, what else can give individuals problems or make it harder for them to sleep as they age? Another thing is snoring. And this can happen at any point in your life. But it becomes more and more common the older you get. Why? Because many individuals lose muscle tone in their throat. Fat deposits around the neck. And the narrowing of the throat tends to leave less room in the airway. And many individuals aren't aware of this. And this is where you get those obnoxious nocturnal snorts that's annoying to individuals who don't snort. But losing weight is one that'll help. And then there's certain oral exercises that a person can engage in to strengthen the muscles around the airways. Yes, and I know many of you are unaware of that. Another is your heart. Yeah. Every day that we're alive is another day. We face wear and tear on the heart. And more people than not, as they age, face heart problems. And guess what? In acupuncturists, we discuss this with our patients, but in acupuncture terms, and we'll translate it so that you'd understand, but I translate a lot on the podcast. Many individuals are unaware that there's a relationship between chronic heart failure and insomnia. Yes, there is. And I know many of you are raising your eyebrows right now saying, wow, I didn't know that. Yes, that is true. There's a relationship between chronic heart failure and insomnia. See an acupuncturist, please. Okay? Because I know you're waiting for me to go really deep into detail about that. But anyway, chest pain can make it really, really difficult for a person to relax or fall asleep and even stay asleep. Imagine being asleep and then all of a sudden, boom, you get this chest pain. You know how many individuals become alarmed by that and they can't go back to sleep? They're afraid. What if their heart stops or something goes wrong? They have a heart attack. And this chest discomfort tends to make it worse or feel worse when you lay down. And you may experience shortness of breath, which will exacerbate the problem. You see, ultimately, chronic heart failure tends to lead to fatigue and interrupted sleep. Yes. Yes, it can. There's so much to this problem that many individuals are unaware of. But I've said this for quite some time now. Guess what happens when you see a physician on an annual basis for regular checkups and you make regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist throughout the year? Doesn't have to be every week or every 2 weeks. It can be once a month. It could be once at the change of every season. That's between yourself and your acupuncturist. But guess what you've done once you've decided to take that step? You've taken all of these health problems that I discuss off of your shoulders. And you put it in the hands of a physician and definitely an acupuncturist. So many individuals leave the Acupuncture My Life clinic in New York City excited, happy, as if I've done my due diligence. I've made acupuncture a part of my life. That's the expression. That's how their face looks. They feel much better about it. So think about it. What's stopping you from making acupuncture a part of your life? Think about that for a moment. What's stopping you? Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?